This is Dr. Bill with Inside the HBCU Sports Lab with Charles and AD. With that being said, we're going to get into our mid-major marching sport top 7 bands of the week. Not a lot of changes, meaning no team dropped out this week. We do have some slight arrangements. We have more updates in terms of the top programs getting into matches and getting it done in terms of some marching sport contests. So we didn't have any team drop out this week. Those that are receiving votes, Talladega Marching Tornadoes still receiving a vote at 104. Kentucky State Mighty Marching Thoroughbreds hadn't been in the contest for a while, but they're still hanging in there at 103. And Fayetteville State, the Marching Bronco Express are 1-0, both overall in conference. They might have a key matchup with Winston-Salem State this upcoming week, so we'll keep our eyes on that. With that being said, starting at number 7 this week is Albany State Golden Rounds Marching Show Band. And you'll get a refrain with this. These teams that are just hanging in there hadn't had a lot of contests, so this is going to drive Charles crazy. They're 1-0. Conference is 1-0, 107 points, 7 first place. No first place votes, remaining at number 7. Getting to number 6, Benedict Marching Tiger Band's a distinction. Team is number 1 in most poll rankings across the country. Top 25 Division II program, but the band is not showcasing, getting on the road, supporting them. But kudos to the football team. They're finding a way to get it done. That's 125 points. They remain at number 6. The only thing that is working for these bottom 7 is the fact that those receiving votes and outside are not in contest at all either. Clark Atlanta Mighty Marching Panther Band are 1-0, 129 points. They come in 5th. Now this is where it gets a little more interesting. At number 4, Virginia State Trojan Explosion. They're 2-1, 1-0. They fall a spot, 131 points. They should have a contest coming up, but at this point, they're headed in the wrong direction. And number 3, Winston-Salem State Red Sea of Sound, 3-1, 3-0. They've had contests the last 2 weeks. They've earned the first place vote, and they've slightly moved up to number 3, 151 points. Previous rank 4, Stephen Gaither must be out there and sending in them checks to make sure that the band's getting on the road. They listen at it. He's serious about it. He's mad because the football team is not doing his part. So he switched. He moved the checks from football to the marching sport. And look, it's paying off. At number 2, Miles Purple Marching Machine. They got on the road and went to Atlanta, picked on Morehouse and got it done. They did get the victory. 3-1, 2-0, 3 first place votes, 161 points. The story behind that is they do their marching in, nobody communicated across the platform. They were excited to be there. They gonna do their thing, but they were honoring the seniors over there at Morehouse. And boy, somebody's mom made sure that everybody knew that that's not how you do it when they baby.
Wow.
Respect.
Wow.
So got a little interesting, but Miles took care of it.
Communication
and
is the key.
They still got the win. So at the end of the day, and they did that on the football field and at halftime. First quarter, marching in, 5th quarter, whatever quarter you want to talk about it, they won. At number 1, Langston Marching Pride, 3-0, 2-0. They took out their early frustrations in terms of what was going on, not having any bands to participate. They played Arkansas Baptist, the Buffaloes, and they buffaloed them. Dropped them. They earned 4 first place votes, 163 points. Remain number 1. That's your marching sport mid-major division in week number 7. Charles, what are your thoughts in terms of the marching sport?
Well, let me say shout out to Fort Valley. They got on the road last week and against Benedict, so I did catch that. But this is that part of the year. My eyes on these top 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. If you got any road games, are you being that 12th man? That is my benchmark. Do you aid the team in terms of what you bring to the field? And like you say, they just communicate just a little bit. That helps out a little bit with regards to the pre-game festivities. Because I'm sure the band director wouldn't have no problem with just the drums beating coming in or something, or just marching in silently. But it is what it is, communication.
AD knows about the communication and need for it coming out of his daily work that he gets done in a lot of ways. But with that being said, let's get to the marching sport. What are your thoughts on the top 7?
I have to take pause, Dr. Cavil.
It gets dangerous when you take a pause, but I like it. Go ahead.
Looking at all these teams not getting out there on the road. Shout out to Fort Valley for getting on the road on a Thursday night game, Dr. Cavil.
Yeah,
that's true. That's right.
I mean, that's huge. That just don't happen when people get on the road for a Thursday night game. Miles, I'm looking forward to in 1, 2, 3 weeks for a big matchup with Miles. Maybe my Golden Tigers can get back into it. Or maybe Miles can do enough to move up because my Tuskegee is going to be traveling to Fairfield, Alabama to take on.
Okay, tempo exactly.
So that's going to happen come hell or high water. That matchup is going to happen. I can't speak to nobody else's matchup, but that one is going to happen. And then the other one is Langston is done. So Langston is sitting there with the opportunity to be gotten.
Yeah.
Is somebody strong enough to get them?
I think that's a very great point. And they have a slim margin in terms of leading only 4th place votes. So I'm not sure if they put a big enough gap in them to be able to hold out over the next couple of weeks with some of these top teams having matchups. Told you about Winston-Salem State. They're likely to be able to face Fayetteville State. So that's going to be at least one more on their ledger. You got Miles and Tuskegee, another one on their ledger. Albany and Fort Valley, you already talked about them going in there. Benedict is going to likely have the benefit that they're going to play in a championship game. That's going to be a matchup for their band at least, and they had this previous one. So you can see them adding up those victories as it comes on. And will it be enough to take Langston, as you said, that will sit idle? And I'm sure there's a couple of other matchups out there.
Don't forget State Union. State and Union also. At the end of the year.
That's a big one.
Oh, right. You said you Virginia Union,
yeah.
So that helps Virginia State. They have a chance to add another contest to their ledger. So during the stretch, not a lot of matchups, but they're going to be some key matchups. So great point, and I'm glad you pointed that out.